the encrypted weirdness of the PTR. Here's Kalia. Hello, Kalia. There she is. Now, we think she's going to be involved in stuff. I think Steve actually said she's going to be, but we just don't know what. We don't know how.
Yeah. And even the fact we don't know is like, we're all literally like breaking new ground level of exciting here.
Yeah, it's like...
there's a patch. We don't know what's in it.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So the most recent PTR build is a release candidate, right? And the reason why this is kind of relevant is because there's 12 or so pages, maybe 11. Yeah, it's 11 out of 13 pages. I mean, pages as it is by wow.tools.
Yeah.
Incredible. Wow.tools is an incredible site with loads of incredible tools that Marlon works on. And it's just wonderful. It's just cool. Like, hobbyist development is awesome. So the stuff that he does is really quite incredible. But anyway, here we're just seeing all of these encrypted files. So nearly 250 encrypted files appeared in this most recent, or either appeared or were changed in this most recent PTR build. Now, on some of these we can see names, and they seem to include databases relating to character appearances, transmog sets, mounts, pet toys, etc. Now, most of them don't have any names attached. Or, you know, like skins, textures, models. Shit's locked down. Blizzard have, of course, they've said they've been investing in how they do all of this stuff so that we can just find out the whole patch.
Good.
And it's fair to say, like, also, a lot of the data miners, like, they're not angry about this. They actually think it's cool because they are hobbyists. They are fans of the game as well. And I think they, too, you know, it's fun to data mine things, but I think they, too, do recognize the importance that maybe some things shouldn't be data mineable. Now, what is very interesting here is that a decent amount of these have the same encryption key that we've previously seen being used for items that, while not confirmed, are extremely likely to be pre-order bonuses.
Which basically means when this stuff goes unencrypted, it'll go unencrypted at the same time, basically.
Yeah.
Or very likely anyway, yeah.
That's a lot of shit.
Yep.
So look, if there was going to be, as some of the leaks suggested, a Darkfallen allied race as a pre-order bonus... there would certainly have to be a lot of encrypted files, wouldn't there? And it probably would be encrypted files that would relate to things such as armor and mount. Cannot confirm anything because it's encrypted.
Yep.
You can just say wild shit and put it in the title. Awesome.
Yes. That's the best part. You can just make up things and people won't know. You'll have to click.
But it's exciting not to know.
Yeah,
right? And
for sure.
Of course, we need to not let, you know, expectations go so wild that we're disappointed no matter what.
God, 7 allied races.
You heard it here first, everyone. But I just think this is great.
Yeah.
There's not too much else to say because we don't know, but
it's literally just,
I will say Darkfallen Allied Race pre-order thingy, if there was going to be one, I think it would be that. And the Terrasfall quest line is what could set that up. Blizzard very much, if they want, could only do the Terrasfall quest, only have that be active whenever... Oh, wait, shit, what if it is this? Because we know there's going to be Toronto-related... We think there's going to be Toronto-related stuff because of the Queen's Gift data mining, but there doesn't seem to be much of that from what we can see in the PTR.
Yeah.
Does that actually mean that at a certain point in time in the future, Blizzard are going to do pre-order bonuses and unlock those quests at the same time? Which would basically mean that every player can do both of the quest lines. The one that we know of course, is the Alliance and Horde quest line for Terrasfall Glades. And then when you've completed Terrasfall Glades, if you've pre-ordered, you then also get access to a Darkfallen Allied race, which could make sense because Kalia is a character who was involved in basically helping the risen Night Elf Dark Rangers, including Dalaran, come to terms with just what the fuck happened to them.
Yeah.
And on Dalaran, there was a bug for years where her eye color was wrong.
Yeah.
So they actually, people thought initially, oh shit, they've changed Dalaran's eye color. Holy shit, it's happening.
Yeah.
No, they fixed the bug. But then you have to wonder, why do they fix that bug now? Why were they looking at that? Who knows?
Yeah, I think that's like the kind of headcanon that I think is most likely to happen, which is pre-order, same day, quests are up, here's your allied race, and here's all your other the pre-order bonuses, like the Emerald Drake mount that we've seen particle effects from.
Yeah.
That seems very much there, because then that's the same of the... well, I mean, there's actually a little bit of evidence to this in terms of what stuff's being added to PTR, in terms of pre-order bonuses, because Dracthyr spell effects are also there. They're not encrypted,
Yeah.
so it might be a kind of a thing. It might be an issue or like a mistake. But it does to me kind of make you go, okay, they must be putting some stuff that's related to the pre-orders and the expansions in, and they've accidentally fired these in as well. Or maybe they fired these in to use them for like a set piece or something for some 9.2.5 thing. Obviously, we get into like the 10.0s where the pre-expansion event will happen. But it's like, there are files from the expansion which should be in a locked off box somewhere else in the PTR now. So there's definitely at least something crossing over there.
And then, so in the same way that Paladins we know are getting a new transmog set, at least if they're a Blood Elf, well, we do actually have the Dark Ranger transmog stuff. And this is pretty cool. So WoW Refugee basically just spotted that a bunch of like player character IDs now point towards essentially, it points towards a Dark Ranger gear set that has been used by NPCs in patch 8.1, but not available to players. So the thing that has changed is the player condition ID, which is linked to hunters, which then would perhaps make us think that in some way, hunters will be able to use this Dark Ranger set somehow in this patch. Now, because this is not a thing the Blizzard have officially announced, it would make me think that it would also be a part of this Tirisfal Glades questline.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And then, if so, that would actually mean there's a Tirisfal Glades questline reward that does not involve pre-order, which I think is important. I guess it's weird, like the Tirisfal thing, and if they do something with Tyrande, that could almost be like a pre-expansion event.
Yeah.
And I mean, I super support Blizzard.
The idea of an expansion
it's the
epilogue.
bare minimum that they should be doing anyway.
Yeah.
You know, but I really support it being here. These things fucking need to be resolved before we move on.
Yeah, and not even just resolved. We literally kind of need something to lead us into the next expansion. So we're not sitting like, I guess the case of Siege of Orgrimmar.
Oh boy.
We're all just sitting around like, man, it really took us a long time to siege Orgrimmar and get rid of it, didn't it? Or get rid of Garrosh, didn't it? Took us a year and a couple months. Sweet. Cool. As opposed to, oh yeah, we did that in like a week and then we had like a breathing time. I was like, oh yeah, good job. We sorted Garrosh. What's everyone doing? Having a wee sit down, cup of tea, fighting some boys, sorted. Something to bridge the gap so your brain actually understands how the time's progressing and what's up, as opposed to this weird sense of how long was N'Zoth dead when we went to the Shadowlands? A few hours? You know, was it a week? Was it 6 months? We have no idea.
What the fuck's going on? That's it. It's, you know, you can have that problem like in... Okay, so earlier on in the Game of Thrones TV show, and absolutely in the Game of Thrones books, one of the things they do a really good job of, especially in the books, is giving you a sense of scale and distance.
Yeah.
And that helps to make the world feel alive.
Yep.
Now, in some modern fantasy shows, and certainly in... you know, the later seasons of the Game of Thrones TV show, they just completely do away with the idea of fucking distance and geography mattering.
Yeah, it just feels like it's a series of events chained together by nothing.
It just feels like it's shit happening. But you really lose that grander sense of things. And sometimes WoW has suffered from that just because they kind of don't have those like little nice to haves. So here we know, okay, in February or March, whatever, we defeated Zovel. And then a few months later, these quest lines happened in, you know, like the Blood Elves had to fight some scourge out of their, you know, their backyard.
Yeah.
And then a little bit after that, we see Future of the Forsaken. Maybe we see some renewal for the Night Elves. Then maybe 6 months after that, pre-expansion event happens and we go to the Dragon Isles. That's stuff that actually just keeps Azeroth feeling alive. And it makes it seem like there's actually a sense of time on Azeroth.
Yeah,
as you said. I'm very...
And that's the weird
happy.
thing. Yeah, that's the weird thing. Where that feels really like it feels like it's pointless. You're like, well, it's just a game. How does that matter? Like, it does. In the ways that you don't immediately expect. In the same way that there's loads of like really small details that need paid attention to for the experience to feel like holistically fantastic. And those details have long been like missed. So it's like, I guess how long were we dealing with finishing off Arthas before Deathwing exploded the entire world? I have no idea. I don't recall.
Alien happened.
Yeah, a couple of things maybe. I don't really know. But it's that sense of just knowing the time has passed, what little things have changed. what like little kind of, was there just here's vanilla and here's Cataclysm, and nothing else in the world is kind of adapted to that yet. So even like just little things of, because I know obviously to harp on FF again, old characters respond to new events, even if it's just like quick lines of dialogue and stuff. It's like, oh yeah, you're back from saving the world for the nth time. God, we're really happy to have you back. You're like, that stuff's kind of, the world doesn't acknowledge events happening. It feels like, especially when you look at like Zadormi being in every zone now with the time travel stuff, it's like there's a lot of like that needs kind of sorted in players' heads. So it feels good and like the world is alive and changing. Doesn't need to be, we need a zone revamp every expansion, but it needs to be some acknowledgement of time and existence.
Yeah, so I guess in this case, it's genuinely good on them for putting it in.
Yep, that's assuming that's assuming this sets any of this up and isn't just here's Tyrande doing something, here's some Dark Rangers and quietness again. But yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm going to run off for a minute, but I'm going to leave you with another little look at a Dragonflight leak.
Ah, yes.
Because it maybe could be the case that there's some things in this leak that are quite interesting. One of them is actually the end of this expansion, potentially, or a main villain in this expansion. But yeah, just also. Actually, you know what? I shouldn't leave you this. There's really not too much.
Yeah, I was about to say there's nothing
that's
really
a bit mean.
much. Yeah,
but yeah, basically, it does have a new Allied Race pre-order bonus in it.
Yeah. So this leak is real, and that kind of gives us a little bit of impetus behind what we're saying.
Yeah.
We're
now the leak,
pulling things out of our ass.
Rathian Alex Trez main heroes. I mean, easy to guess, but also it is true. Morzon as a villain, we don't know. Yep. Allied Race pre-order bonus, perhaps. What it did get right, reworking talents. Now Dragonflight Covenant. Technically, no, but the Covenant system is being used in Dragonflight
the renowned stuff,
for reps, so that kind of is sort of true. Yeah. And no player power. Well, that is true for the use of the Covenant system in this new expansion. Yeah.
Also, Drakthir and Invoker. That's the kind of thing you get slightly wrong.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, Invoker, yeah. I can see how you wouldn't have seen this written down. You would hear it be talked about.
Yeah, because it's like, how the fuck do you come upon Drakthir without knowing?
Yeah. Also, there was, I believe I think there's another leaker said they wanted to use Invoker, but they avoided it because that's the Dota hero, and they called it Evoker instead, which would actually put a timeline to them saying Invoker as opposed to Evoker, but who knows.